We're a visual dictionary. We are just like a normal textual dictionary, an online resource, but we allow people to add words on video, uploaded via the webcam, handycam or mobile. And it's a richer, more immersive dictionary, and it's about the personalisation of language. It's about what words mean to you as an individual. So we also film with celebrities and entertainers, sports stars, defining words that they embody, and that is partly because the resource is an entertainment and an education destination. But the celebrity content that we film with draws people to the site and is engaging and acts as a mini interview effectively, reaching into people's kind of characters and pulling out anecdotal conversations about their thoughts and feelings on a subject or on a passion, all linked from a word. And anyone, as it's a democratic resource, anyone else can define what those words mean to themselves as well. Wordia.com was born out of a need, my own desire to improve my own vocabulary, which is something I think everyone shares. Everyone wants to improve how they talk, to communicate and articulate themselves with friends, family or strangers and colleagues. I certainly wanted to and wish to continue to improve my language, and that's what Wordia.com is about really. We allow people to kind of engage with language in a new way. The idea came from signing up to a few dictionary sites, and I thought, what if you were to actually turn those textual definitions and you brought them alive? You actually filmed with someone defining that word. Moreover, what kind of impact would it have if you filmed with someone who was associated with that word, defining that word? So, for example, Gordon Ramsay, passionate, Gordon Brown, leadership. Very obvious insights into the character and their persona. I actually went to a conference in May, and that was the big Nesta Innovation Edge conference where Michael Birch was speaking. And I saw Michael talk at a conference at Second Chance Tuesday 2 years prior to that. And I always kind of had my eye on him because he was a Brit doing really well in Silicon Valley with Bebo.com. And I thought he would be awesome to just have a chat and get to know. I went to Nesta with the full intention of pitching him the idea and getting him interested. And I was successful in that. It was obvious that him and Zoshi liked the idea because we met. He emailed me the next day. We then went for a few beers in St James's, a normal pub, and we had a few pints and we spoke about the idea. I was probably a bit overzealous in my pitching to him with a PowerPoint and suited where he was quite relaxed. He then flew back to California. We then discussed the idea on email, the valuation of the company, which is a strange thing to do because we'd only just met and we were talking about the worth of something that wasn't tangible. He then came back. I went up to his house and we discussed the idea there for a day, still talking about the valuation, the idea, and more about the strategy and what we wanted to do with it, and all of the other kind of brand explorations that we can do later on. We still hadn't agreed. He then went back to California, and then I asked him. I actually found out on email, when are you next back? And he said September. And for me, that was a too far period away. I couldn't. You can't work out the value of a company remotely on email. I think it's all about personable conversations and doing business with people that you want to get into business with. You know. So I decided to put a flight to California on my credit card, and I flew out the next day after having made that decision to California and went to his house. And we did the deal 2 days later, having spent 2 days solid in the hotel crunching numbers. It quickly became apparent that I should write the project in a software framework called Ruby on Rails, because that seemed to be investable, and that's what venture capitalists love. When we went to events, there was a bit of a buzz around that language. And it also meant that we could implement the idea and get it to market really quickly, as opposed to some of the other languages, which is really key because it's about executing something in an empty space as quickly as possible if you're going to get any kind of traction and any kind of growth. And so to do that, I sold my house, pulled together a team of people, freelancers, all with slightly different skill sets, front-end, back-end, Flash developers, Myself as a TV producer, that I had that skill set, but you have to kind of look around and see where your weaknesses are, where your gaps are, and employ and put strong people in those positions to have a team, because it's collaborative at the end of the day. We have working partnerships with the National Literacy Trust, the Open University, and our dictionary partner is HarperCollins. And I felt these were the right partnerships from inception, because we've grounded the idea in education, and it's about expanding your vocabulary. It's about discovery of words and what words mean to you as a person. And these organisations have a long history of excelling and being market leaders in the education space. And so it was right for us to go to them first from launch. We film with people that tend to embody a word. So we would love to have filmed with Barack Obama defining the word expectation before the election results. We're still interested in Gordon Brown defining the word leadership. We want Gordon Ramsay to define the word passionate. If you choose a word that captures the zeitgeist, the public opinion, or the public perception on someone defining a word, that in itself is an interesting bit of footage. You want to see what that person says on the subject that they're allegedly representing. And that itself becomes a commodity. You can push that out into the web space. You can blend and distribute that onto all the social networks. We do that with our word of the day anyway. In 7 weeks, we've managed to seed a lot of our content into these viral social nets. But there's a long way to go. Wordia is an ad-funded business model, so we will sell ad inventory on the site down the road. We're not wanting to do that for a while because we want to ensure our wiki sensibilities. We're a Wiktionary, effectively, and we want to be careful and want to be honest with our community in that we don't want to put adverts and monetize that environment yet, because we want to grow a large community, and so we don't want to put adverts in there yet. We don't need to do that financially at this stage.